right, so once again, I'm live. Another cold day in the 804, Richmond, Virginia. Right. So that's what's going on. So I was out today, and what do you know?
It's been officially confirmed a small earthquake just minutes ago in Henrico's West End startled some folks. Welcome to the News at 6. I'm Bill Fitzgerald.
And I'm Janine Samuels. Let's send it right out to Chief Meteorologist Zach Daniel, who is in the Backyard Weather Center. It has been confirmed. You mentioned it as well. We didn't feel it here, though.
Yeah, it's interesting, the reports that I'm getting, and just kudos to our Central Virginia viewers because, man, they have their finger on the pulse. When something happens, they let us know all about it. And I've gotten a lot of reports from people saying their house shook to people saying they heard a loud boom but didn't really feel any shaking. And then I had a person in Beaver Dam, the epicenter of this, said she didn't feel anything at all. So interestingly, it was centered near Beaver Dam in northwest Hanover County. The magnitude was a 2.8 and it occurred at 5:28 p.m. So a little excitement on this Tuesday afternoon that had nothing else to offer in terms of
Yeah, so obviously we had an earthquake in Richmond, in Henrico area. Water main breaks, all that.
Big ideas.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. But the money I saved, thought I'd get a wax figure myself. Oh!
That's one of the buildings, one of the processes.
So this is what they're saying about the water crisis. It's kind of BS to me, but I mean, like I said, this week has been a drag. Last week, businesses, things like that didn't work. A lot of things went wrong. I think we'll be fine, though. Okay, so this is going to be a thing on the water crisis.
Just the electrical equipment.
These pages hold decades of memories documenting Robert Rain's professional career as a wastewater plant operator in Richmond and Henrico.
I left Richmond as a chief operator and went to Henrico when they built their new plant.
Part of his job was to test the facility's power sources and redundancy systems.
We had diesel generator. It would automatically start up. We just had to check it once a week, run it for an hour, and check the fuel oil level in it.
So based on his experience, Rain feels that a power outage alone should not have caused a complete Richmond-wide water outage and boil advisories.
There was this series of calamities and tragedies that happened. It had just pancaked on each other. It shouldn't have happened to begin with. It shouldn't have happened.
Multiple layers of backup systems failed, per officials. An automatic switch to a secondary Dominion energy source did not work. An off-site electrician who was called to the facility did not turn on the generator. One backup battery did not last as long as expected, and city officials have still not answered whether 2 other batteries were actually in service. And a state official briefed on the matter says that operators were not aware of the manual procedure to close the valves to prevent catastrophic flooding.
We need to be checking our valves to make sure that they are positioned where they're supposed to be. If they shouldn't be open, we need to manually close them, and vice versa.
Rain says the crisis also brings up questions surrounding critical infrastructure. CBS 6 combed through years' worth of procurement documents and found records showing that the city knew as far back as 2012 that the plant's electrical equipment was deteriorating, aged, and had decreasing reliability. An external assessment done at the time determined the equipment needed to be replaced, including a switchgear. That's the component that Mayor Danny Avula says did not work last Monday and triggered the cascade of failures.
I think the failure of our switch is on our side. And so I think that switch may be part of the infrastructure that we'll obviously need to replace.
Procurement records reveal that the city began soliciting contractors to perform that replacement in 2016, as the Richmond Times-Dispatch first reported. But the city says a contract was not issued until late 2022. The city did not say when the actual work began, but says it is happening now. We requested an interview about this with former Mayor LeVar Stoney, who is now running for lieutenant governor. His campaign manager declined, but sent a statement saying that he did propose funding for the facility's needs and would not be involved in procurement decisions per the law.
This was a completely preventable event. It shouldn't have happened.
The state health department's drinking water office, headed by Dwayne Roadcap, is now completing an investigation into the failure and determining whether or not DPU prepared ahead of the expected winter storm.
The early indications is that the Richmond plant staff did not test or evaluate their backup systems before the event.
Additionally, Roadcap says the facility was operating off of just one of its primary Dominion power sources when it could have been running 2, and that staffing appears to have been an issue.
We do know that there were 3 operators on staff when the power went out.
3 operators, is that enough?
Clearly it was not.
Roadcap says the state investigation will likely result in many recommendations with timelines to address them. Now, that'll be separate from a third-party probe that the city says it is also commissioning. I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.
Sure, Vistaprint prints business cards, but we also print these, and those, and engrave that.
After I got my first plant, I was hooked. There's just something so peaceful about watering them and nurturing their growth. It gives me a sense of purpose, you know? Yeah, there you go. They're also great listeners. Just wish my dad was around more when I was growing up. So many baseball games without him in the stands. So many school projects I had to do on my own. I even had to watch a YouTube video to learn how to shave. Nowadays, it seems like he doesn't even want a relationship with me anymore. Sorry.
I love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
You don't know Monday.com? This is Monday.com.
You want to let it go? Yeah. Okay.
Derek Cloyda and Alina Cruz have a lot going on at home.
So, well, we have 5 kids. We have an 18-year-old, soon-to-be 14-year-old, soon-to-be 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and a soon-to-be 4-year-old.
Cruz, who just finished getting her master's, is looking for work. Cloyda works at La Grada in downtown Richmond. The restaurant had a planned closure for the first week of the month, but a failure at Richmond's water treatment plant led the restaurant to keep its doors shut yet another week.
We had money saved and living paycheck to paycheck. We had money saved for that time period, but not for an extra week.
Cloyda says his family had a bit of a cushion from his job before the city's water crisis, but the loss of 1 week's wages can have a major impact on servers like him.
It could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 each week. You know, it could be, and for others out there, it could be 500 to 1,000. You know, and that matters after a while. After so many weeks, you're still paying back the 100 on this bill, the 200 on this bill, the $50 payment you had on this one thing, you know.
Cloyda and Cruz are now asking this of city leaders.
What can you do for those who weren't able to work due to businesses being shut down? And for those businesses who may not apply for the government assistance to be able to pay for their employees? Like, that's my major thing too, is because that's out of our control. We had no control over what happened.
They're not the only ones. Restaurant manager Natalie McNamara says she and other business owners are waiting to see how the city responds too.
I'm hoping they have the funds to help support us and get us all back on our feet, because we are the livelihood of Richmond.
Monday, a city spokesperson said it's evaluating several options to support impacted residents and businesses, which could include working with federal partners like FEMA. Cloyda and Cruz say in the meantime, they'll apply for financial support where they can.
It really falls down like what should have been taken care of before.
Folks who work in the restaurant industry can apply for assistance through the National Restaurant Workers Community Foundation or see if they qualify for unemployment. There is a petition circulating asking the city of Richmond to not charge for January's water bill. We're not sure if the city is going to follow through with that, but they did say that ratepayers' bills would likely be lower since they are charged based on how much water they used. In Richmond.
What's going on, man?
Shit, man. Shit, just getting in, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing. Yeah, that shit's all straight up bullshit, BJ. That's what it sounds like.
Well, had an earthquake today.
That's not something. Don't sound right with that one, BJ. You know.
The last time I actually felt an earthquake in Richmond was 2011.
So are they change? Is it climate change, or are they changing the climate? Oh,
I don't know. It was a 2.8.
That's small, but still, that don't matter. That's still, still an earthquake, you know.
And then we recorded at 5.28.
Interesting. You know what I'm saying, BJ? I mean, they make the problem, bro. Like, at this point, we shouldn't be we shouldn't be arguing. We shouldn't be even debating over shit like this, bro. It's elementary. It's elementary. They're making the problem. You know what I'm saying? They're making all these problems. The government is the problem to me. The government sold us out. So they told us to go to college so we could, basically they didn't tell you to get in debt. They told you to go to college, but then they have all these bringing all these immigrants over here for the agriculture work or for the construction. Very interesting. Well, we don't have enough construction because y'all played people with this college BS. That's why. Duh. Around the same time, like you were saying, they locked a lot of people up. Like you were saying, around the same time they was locking us up. At the around the same time they was locking us up, they was bringing these immigrants in. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, look, this is how you know the prerequisites of just treasonry. When you're messing with Israel, when you cool with Israel and you mess with Israel, that's the prerequisites of treason right there. At that point, you're treasonous. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
No, you good.
What's treason? Are they, like you said, Offense of New America? Are they setting it up for the immigrants? They setting it up for the immigrants and shitting on us.
Right.
I'm just hoping it ain't diarrhea. Right? Mm-hmm. But see, that's content. Me and you, we get on display or something like that. We get on air or something like that. you know what I'm saying, we going after conservatives or whoever else, you know what I'm saying, or liberals or whatever, we're going after them. How does that make any sense when we all know who the fuck is at blame, bro? It's just all about something to talk about, bro. Something to talk about. Make it to where people are divisive, making it to where people pick a side, just like the Democrat and Republican. Why is there not more choices, and why is there not more parties in that? Because they stiff you with just those two.
All right. So you're in California, right?
In Cali, baby, kill it, Cali. Get it, kill it, Cali.
U.S. Congressman moved with lightning speed to serve Israel, even as L.A. burns.
I seen that. No, that's my boy. Yeah, my boy, man. I think I'm gonna start messing with him, man.
Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you should hang your head in shame. If you live in the U.S., pay taxes there, and you have exercised your right to vote in the last elections. That's because crooks and war criminals that you have elected have now truly swung into action to work for a foreign country, even when firefighters are struggling to contain California wildfires due to the paucity of funds. Because you don't have funds. You've given all your funds to Israel. I mean, what timing? The US is hit by a calamity. Hundreds of thousands of people have had to evacuate themselves.
Listen to what he's saying now, right? Remember they always tell you, they always talk about all them funds going to Ukraine. And they'll tell you, yeah, we got to stop the fund. Well, why y'all never say nothing about the funds you're giving Israel then?
Damn. All this time, now they want to say they want to stop funds to Ukraine now. That's what they're saying?
Well, you know how they be saying that they want to stop the war in Ukraine, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Got you.
Good talking.
And then the hostages, bullshit. Right.
My thing is, Israel got a lot of money too. You don't talk about giving the war to Israel. You see the game they run?
Israel's a rich country. They got money, dude. It's a game, dude. Them motherfuckers are fourth in arms.
Now watch this.
They're fourth in nuclear arms, and they're fifth in the country in the world with weapons, bro. Interesting. How come they don't get sanctioned, BJ?
Oh, he about to tell you that. He about to bring that up. Glad you mentioned it.
Damn, how did I know
to say? Many people have lost their lives. Los Angeles has turned into a ghost town. But Israeli agents serving as congressmen and congresswomen have decided to work on far more pressing assignments. They moved a bill in the House of Representatives to act against the International Criminal Court and its prosecutor Karim Khan. Why? For issuing arrest warrants against bloodthirsty terrorist Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister Yoav Gallant. Legislators in the lower chamber of the US Congress passed the bill called Illegitimate Court Counteraction Act by an overwhelming margin, 243 to 140 on Thursday, in a signal of strong support for Israel. 45 Democrats, yes, 45 Democrats joined 198 Republicans in backing this bill. Not a single Republican voted against it. The bill will now head to the Senate, where the Republicans have.
What do you say? Not a single Republican voted against it. Damn. Kind of fucked up, ain't it, man? Ouch.
It's real fucked up.
Already gained majority. The man who has brought this bill is someone called Brian Mast. Now, who is Brian Mast? This criminal has been elected to serve in the US Congress by Americans, by you. But he is someone who has previously served in the IDF, the world's only organized army of terrorists. Yes, you heard it right. He is an ex-IDF personnel and now uses his power as a congressman to lobby for Israel. This Zionist and Israeli national regularly turns up to work dressed in IDF uniform. You can see it on the screen.
What's with your threads today? Can you tell us anything about those? Charlene's got her flag. I've got my uniform.
No one.
That is funny as shit. Yeah, that is wild, bro. Oh my goodness. That's insane.
An ex-US soldier recently confronted him to say that he was in fact an Israeli agent working as a congressman.
Hi, my name's Josephine Gilville. I'm a 17-year Army veteran. Are you an Israeli spy? Are you spying on the American government for Israel?
Why would you even ask that?
Because I'm a former intelligence officer. I have read documentation that points to you actually having allegiance to Israel and not America.
That's a very ridiculous question. My allegiance to the United States of America has been clear.
Has it?
I don't know, has it? Did you almost give your life for America?
Absolutely.
Because I almost gave my life
So
for
did I,
America.
17 years in the Army. Why are you continuing to accept donations from Israeli citizens like the Falek family from Miami?
Israel is really a tremendous ally.
Israel is not our ally. So we just approached Brian Mass and I asked him, are you spying for Israel? And of course, he immediately jumped to his injuries that he received in Afghanistan. While I do sympathize, I do question what he's doing for our country now after witnessing the narrative that has been coming out of his mouth for nearly a year and discovering that his main donors are Israeli citizens. He felt disrespected because I refused to shake the hands of someone who is complicit in genocide, and he also refused to answer the question.
According to APAC tracker, this former IDF personnel, now serving as US congressmen, received a whopping $674,000 in funding. From whom? From pro-Israeli lobby groups, including the APAC. Screenshot. You have to hear these speeches of some of these crooks masquerading as US congressmen when they spoke in favor of this bill. This is Tim Burchett from the Republican Party. He's shamelessly highlighting that there was a reason why the US and Israel were not part of the ICC. That's because international rules must not apply to these two countries. I'm not saying it. It's his words. Who are these two countries? The US and Israel, two of the biggest rogue nations in the world. Such is his guilty conscience that he highlighted in the same speech that he had no connection with the APAC.
Speaker, Chairman, thank you, and Mr. Roy for bringing this important piece of legislation to us. Let's be clear. H.R. 23 is very clear. The International Criminal Court, the ICC, they don't believe Israel has the right to defend itself from terrorists or those that threaten to destroy Israel's way of life. The United States and Israel are not members of the ICC for good reason and without accident. Mr. Speaker, it's a dadgum sham court is what it is. These decisions by the ICC are reckless, and they not only put Israel at risk, they put Americans at risk as well. The United States, with our new Congress and new administration, is not going to put up with these international organizations putting us and our allies in harm's way. Hamas chose war, and dadgummit, Hamas got war. The ICC prosecutor, Karim Khan, has made a parody of justice, and he needs to find his place or we will help him find it. And I know when I get back to the office, I'm going to get text or contact from people saying that my APAC handler told me to do this, and I'll probably get my APAC handler in trouble, but I don't even know who the heck he or she is. The truth is, this is right. America should be on the side of the right. And for anyone to stand in the way of this important piece of legislation, I think owes the American public an explanation, and he owes especially your Jewish constituency. I fully support H.R. 23, and I look forward to passing it here shortly.
He said you need to support your Jewish constituents. You heard what he said, God damn it.
What about the black constituency? They pick. I'm just done with this. I'm tired of this picking and choosing shit. And it's always just picking and choosing. You know what I'm saying?
I had to let you hear that part to make, because he said you need to stand with the Americans, but he said you need to make sure, especially your Jewish constituency. Go eat bad. I said, what?
Why are we questioning if these people are putting Israel first when that's exactly what they're doing?
They're saying it.
There's no question about that.
They're actually saying it now. They
If
ain't
I'm stealing,
this shit
if you
no
catch
more.
me in the act of stealing, bro, you know what I'm saying? You catch me in some place that's not my house and I'm taking things, I'm stealing, bro. What is there? What else is there? I don't get that.
Hey, Frank.
Mm-hmm. See, this is that lies, and the new truth is the new lie, and you know what I'm saying? The new truth is the new lie.
Frank. Well, one thing about them, Frank, they not lying. They telling it like it is.
Right.
Hey, he told you, hey, we owe your Americans an apology, and especially your Jewish constituency. I said, wait a minute, man. I know this guy ain't say no. You know, now look, I know, man. I know it's hard for people. But don't this mean that they all working together, man? Come on, man. So, once again, the people got screwed again.
We got screwed.
All right, hold on. Let me keep going.
We got screwed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small businesses easily reach.
But Tim Burchett is cheap, right? You have to see that. He's very, very cheap. Israeli lobbies have bought his conscience for just $23,361. And even though he says he doesn't have any connection with the APAC, this is what he tweeted in March 2020 when he welcomed an APAC delegation to his office. He proudly shared this photo, which you can see on the screen, and wrote, I quote, "The United States has a strong Middle East ally in Israel. Maintaining the US-Israel relationship is important for so many reasons, and I am proud to support our Israeli friends. Thanks for stopping by APAC." End of quote. Another US congressman, Chip Roy, he too made it abundantly clear that even though he may have been elected to serve the US interest, his loyalty was with Israel.
On this particular issue, which is critically important for not just our friendship with our ally Israel, but also our own national security, the protection of our own men and women in uniform. Let's be clear about what is happening at the so-called International Criminal Court right now. It has taken unprecedented action of issuing arrest warrants for the sitting prime minister and former minister of defense of our friend and ally Israel. Let that sit in for a minute. This is an entity, the International Criminal Court, that has no jurisdiction over the people of the United States, should have no authority over our people, no authority over the prime minister of Israel. Yet it is extending into the people of Israel's business and defending their interest against violent attack by Hamas, which we define as a terrorist entity, which, as the chairman just pointed out, has killed American citizens and holds American citizens hostage as we sit here today. And somehow it is not a priority for the people of our country that we represent for us to be here on the floor of the House defending our men and women in uniform, defending our citizens, defending our ally Israel and the prime minister of Israel from a politicized witch hunt by the International Criminal Court, which again should have and doesn't have any jurisdiction over our people or the people of Israel. I would remind the gentleman from Massachusetts that 42 Democrats voted for this legislation last year. If this is such a crazy piece of legislation, perhaps the gentleman would like to have an inward-facing conference on his side of the aisle. It is very clearly a bipartisan interest to protect our people and the people of our friends in Israel. I would note that our problems aren't just the dangerous terrorist organizations like Hamas, but these international organizations given power over our citizens and our way of life. Not just the International Criminal Court, but, for example, UNRWA and other international organizations, without which Hamas wouldn't have many of the resources it needs to conduct these violent attacks on Israel and our own people. When the gentleman from Massachusetts talks about the plight of the people in Gaza, we should be reminded of the massive piles of pallets of food and relief that are stacked up because the United Nations is too incompetent to move those pallets, and remind our friends of the extent to which Hamas has been taking those resources and not distributing them to the people in Gaza. The fact of the matter here, this legislation is inherently America first. We have had situations where we've had American soldiers and our people targeted by the ICC. It will happen again if the House of Representatives and the Senate and the President don't take action to sanction the ICC to prevent this from happening again in the future. I appreciate the support of the chairman. I appreciate the support of virtually every member of the Republican side of the aisle. I appreciate the support of the 42 Democrats last summer. I look forward to a larger amount of support from Democrats when we vote on this today. I yield back.
Like Tim Burchett, Chip Roy too has mortgaged his conscience to Israel.
Boy, they going in out there, man.
Man. And see, you see people from other countries, they call out. People from other countries see something's not right, but we don't see it. We see that something's not right. But we everything's okay with these politicians in this country.
Well, you know why? You know why they see? You know why they calling it out? You want to know why? Because the same people that he's talking about is going after them, and they got the United States as an ally.
Well, yeah, right, because United States, or you just said they're trying to make it. They're trying to sign that legislation. They signed the legislation where they could sanction the people that are going after Israel. See?
Yes. So that would affect people because that would affect them because that would say, hey, look, you're going after me, but you're going after me for them. But really, to tell you the truth, you really shouldn't be doing that because this should be an issue. Whatever you got going on, you gotta like settle that. But when you trying to say, hey, look, we're gonna back you with arms and weapons and other stuff. See, like in California with you, right? Really, to tell you the truth, a lot of that fire that's to build a high speed rail. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I sent you the map earlier.
Yeah, I know. Right. Well, guess what? They got a plane over there too, called the Great Israel Plan. And guess what it is? It's the same thing. It's getting them people off the land for that what they want to do.
And see, that makes sense because if I do something like this, it's going to make it look like a natural disaster. And when we get the funds to build up, it's going to look like we're going to build a bunch of under miscellaneous shit that has nothing to do with any of these people's houses. And see, that right there is the smart cities. That's the rail system. See, my thing is, didn't Gavin Newsom and them a couple years ago put out billions of dollars for a rail system that didn't go nowhere and this shit didn't make the train?
Yep.
So a lot of people pocketed that money. See, that's how these politicians could steal by putting budgets and bullshit out. And then when you put it out, we don't know what happened to the rest of the money. I don't know. But damn, that's just like doing they're doing a success sharing or something like that, your job. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know what I'm saying, they share the they made a certain amount that year and they share, you know what I'm saying, that with the the co-workers. So that's just basically like doing that. And the company is like, oh, wait up. You got this much less. You got hundreds of thousands of dollars less. Guess what? A lot of times that's not true. They can just lie to you and say, oh, sales was down. This was down. This is because the car, this ain't doing good right now. And they're going to guess what, BJ? They can give you less money. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Thievery. It's corporate thievery, bro. Corporate theft. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I just think, look, like we were saying, like Shaq said, let these white people figure this out, bro.
Well, I'm glad you're realizing that. Now, here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You see, oh, them guys were lying so hard. You heard them keep talking about Hamas, right?
Bro.
Why don't they tell you what Hamas really is?
I don't know. Why don't they tell you what it is?
See, they keep on talking, oh, we have deemed it a terrorist organization. No, you just want to use that to go after people and use them as the thing. It's kind of like 9/11 when they said, oh, we're going after Bin Laden. What about Saudi Arabia? Oh, forgot about those guys, huh?
Right. Just like when they talk about 9/11, or I don't want to say too much, but just like when they talk about 911, and they talking about, the thing is, why would I go after one group when they said one group did it and I'm going after two other groups? I'm like, people didn't see that.
So since what's a guy named Chip Roy? Let's bring him up. Let's bring this up. Let's bring this really. Let's make this easy, Frank. Come on, man. Help me out here, man. Let's see. Texas. Oh shit, Frank. You want to see this?
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm about to break this down. Right? How you doing, Duaz, by the way? All right. Oh, Frank, don't you see that? That's called the Texas Israel Alliance. Oh,
wow.
Ain't that something, man?
How do you have it? Damn.
Leveraging the power of Texas to build unique partnerships.
That's crazy, man. How do you?
No, it's not crazy,
Texas?
Man.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Texas
Watch this.
They full of shit too.
Watch this. Virginia, Israel Advisory Board. Oh, damn. Ain't that crazy? Let's see. Where you at? California. Let's see it again. See about you. You're in California, right, man? You're in California, right? California knows how to party. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. There you go. California Israel Research Fund. There you go. Look at that nice flag with the Israeli flag in the California. You see that, Frank? As a matter of fact, California gave away $610 million in California tax board. Pay $1. There you go, right there. $610 million. Right there. It's California, right? Damn, I wonder what that money was for the fires. Oh well, never mind.
Israel's genocide. What's the genocide? What genocide? What are they talking about? Genocide. What is that? Oh wait. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what they say. Oh yeah. Right. Okay, I see what they say. I thought they were trying to be.
They give away money to help.
We giving them money to kill, bro. So are these the mercenaries? Are these mercenaries?
Hey yo, I'm gonna ask you a question. Did we give? Hey, look. Did they give money to kill you in California with the fires? Possibly.
Yes, I like the correlation. Yes, they do.
Hey, look. Now watch this. What's another state? Shit. Maryland. No. Well, I know that New York. What are you in it? I'm gonna go. Yeah, let's go.
Right. Yeah, New York is what you.
But that's easy. Oh wow. Dang! Look at it, Maryland. Israel Development Center, the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington.
You see why they not trying to push for no damn reparations or nothing like that for no certain American people. Hell no. These people got ties and pacts with Israel. Why would they want to give you reparations? They're giving Israel reparations.
Let's see.
Are reparations?
New York. I know New York. Oh man, I ain't got to.
I don't want to say it on your channel, but you already know. Creed York.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now watch this, man. Now they got a number for this. This called Israel bonds, right? Now look at this, Frank. Israel bonds. Look at that. Development Corporation for Israel headquarters in New York City. Go. And you can also click here for Canada, Israel security. What the hell is going on here? Hey, Frank, man, come on, man. Help me out, man. This is bad, man. Hey, look. All I'm about to say, Frank, you know what I'm about to say? Anybody that's listening, if you in your chat in here, put up your state. Because if I go to it, I'm going to find probably every state in the goddamn union doing this now. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I probably find every damn state. Am I right, man? I might find every state. You better go check your goddamn state board and see what the hell these people doing with your goddamn money. And by the way, Frank, guess what? You said reparations. Dang. Israel getting plenty of reparations, bro. Getting a lot. What is that goddamn song?
Making reparations, bro.
On top of reparations.
It's like, really?
Now look, check this out. For something they can't even prove happened.
Bam. That's it. It's something that didn't even happen in America. Damn. Wow. You don't want to give us reparations for something that happened in America, but you
wait a minute. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. They give reparations for something they can't even prove happened in America or out of America.
See, that's the biggest psyop right there ever.
Hey, yo, they is wild for that one, though. Hey, yeah, they is wilding, man. Oh, man. All right, I got some stuff to pull up here. Oh, man, that is funny as hell, man. Frank, but it's okay, Frank. Most people ain't gonna read that information no way, so don't worry about it. They probably say, oh, yeah, he just talking shit.
Right.
No, I'm just trying to show you who, man.
Man. Because, and that's good, man, because we need to wake up, man.
Now, Prospect Medical Holding Hospital with 182 clinics worldwide, nationwide, they filed for bankruptcy. So hospitals are now filing bankruptcy. Hospital networks are filing bankruptcy. Pay attention to that, okay?
You said, so hospitals are filing bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
You think that has something to do with the pharmaceutical company? What do you think it got something to do with?
Population, man. All right, look. Genetically engineered mosquitoes with toxic semen could kill females and encourage spread of disease. Well, that's kind of crazy when you really think about it. Right?
It says who? They know what they're going to say. The experts. Who are these experts? I want to meet them.
Researchers say.
Uh-oh. They switched it up. They're not saying experts no more.
Are you paying attention? Trump's scheduled to speak at Davos World Economic Forum in 2025. Okay. Let's see. I gotta pull some stuff up here. Savannah man severely beaten by fake Amazon worker. Suspect still at large.
How do you know he was okay? So he was a fake okay. How did it? What he was in the truck? He had the uniform, the shirt. Why were we saying he worked at Amazon? Why did they come up with that conclusion? He had a vest on or something?
Yeah, he had a vest on.
Where did you get it from?
Well, anybody answering that question?
I can't just go get a Home Depot fucking. You know what I'm saying? If I don't work there, you know what I mean. I can't just get one. Does that make sense? You can't just get a UPS. You can't just get a UPS outfit, dude, if you don't work there or you don't know nobody that works. It doesn't work like that. I mean, or unless we're buying it at Party City, the party supply store or something, or Halloween costume or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Man, I don't even know.
Okay. This is for people who don't believe this. Okay, you see this is called water scarcity. Water covers 70% of our planet is easy to think it will always be plentiful. However, fresh water, the stuff we drink, bathe in, irrigate our farm is incredibly rare. Only 3% of the world water is fresh water, and 2/3 of that is tucked away in frozen glaciers or other unavailable for our use. Okay. 1.1 billion people lack worldwide access to water. And a total of 2.7 billion find water scarce for at least 1 month of the year. Now, at the current consumption rate, it will only get worse. By 2025, 2/3 of the world's population may face water shortages, and ecosystems around the world will suffer even more. What year we in?
2025, man.
So when they talk about Project 2025, what about this project of no water or shortage?
Man, that's fucked up, man.
Remember, they said they'll be able to control all the weather patterns by 2025.
Right.
Now I just pulled it up for you. Like I always tell people, when you talk to me, right? If I show you something, you better write this shit down or at least remember this shit. Because I'm telling you, you got to go read this shit in the black and white and what these fuckers really trying to do. That's why I told you this shit that happened last week in Richmond was no fucking accident, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Matter of fact, now they say that a water pump busted again yet today. But they said the reservoir is still cool right now. It's still filled up so we good. But another water pump busted. I said, come on, man.
Just like they're saying our whistle name is empty. They're trying to say our reservoirs are empty and shit. You know what? You know what? It's a water game in Richmond. And what's up with that? And in California, what's going on? We playing games with the water now. So that lets you know, like I think you said the other day, they might be messing with the water supply. You never know. It might be support. You never know what's in this water, man. I might have to get a filter for the shower, man. Shit.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? I might have to get a filter for the shower on some shit.
What do you think about this, man? What do you think about this, man?
They just playing games. They use it and they're using the cold weather to do it. Since it's cold, you know what I'm saying? That's foul, dude. That's it don't get no fouler than that. You know what I'm saying? Really don't.
Well, it's like this, man. I'm not, like I told people, I don't really get mad about it because I look at it with people. And I say, but you better know what's going on here. If you don't, you better ask somebody.
Man, we used to say back in the day, better ask somebody.
I didn't play this right quick. I'm gonna get a couple more things. I ain't be able to too long. I ain't gonna get them done, but.
Thousands of layoffs in 2025. Job cuts are expected to continue this year following waves of reductions last year. Companies across the United States are seeking to cut costs due to economic reasons as well as due to technological changes, technological advances that are rapidly developing and changing the labor force. If employers continue to cut jobs at the same pace as they did last year in 2024, and borrowing costs remain high, which if you watched my video yesterday, you would know borrowing costs are expected to remain high following the latest economic data. So we might see yet another spike in layoffs this year. Industries such as technology, aviation, and retail were hit by significant job cuts last year, with more reductions likely on the horizon. You may say, well, wait a minute, what about this amazing jobs report that showed 100,000 jobs added in December alone? What about that? Well, as I said before, I would take that with a grain of salt, and I would actually wait for the next downward revision. It is coming, it's just around the corner, and I will explain that in just a minute. With the new incoming administration, we don't really know yet how policies might change, but it does seem that the Federal Reserve is leaning towards a tighter monetary policy moving forward. So higher interest rates are likely to put more pressure on private businesses since their borrowing costs will remain high as inflationary pressures continue to affect consumers. So that is not a good scenario at all. First, let's walk through the background to help you understand the concerns, the issues that existed as of January 1st as the new year began. So according to a report that was released by consulting firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas in the beginning of 2024, and this is very important. So they said that in the beginning of 2024, US-based employers announced plans to hire nearly 770,000 workers. That is a very, very low number. And that marked the lowest annual level since 2015. As we came to find out 12 months later, even that estimate, even that low estimate, was far more ambitious as high interest rates, economic slowdown, and rising
Who's coming in the driveway?
inflation put so much pressure on the private sector, on private businesses, that they had to actually cut jobs to decrease their expenses to improve their margin instead of adding more employees to their payrolls. So 2025 is not starting well due to these challenges that have already accumulated. The trend very much resembles a snowball effect, in my opinion. November 2024, for example, saw nearly 58,000 job cuts in a single month. And that number represents nearly 3.8% increase compared to October. So month over month, we've got a 3.8% increase. The technology sector led the way with 430,000 people affected throughout 2024. The following month, as of December, US-based employers announced 39,000 job cuts in December alone. And of course, that's only going to continue. With that being said, it is quite clear that the trend is likely to continue and more US employees will lose their jobs over the coming months. There are several main drivers to be aware of here. We are going to cover two top reasons in this video. First and foremost, it is AI. We have to talk about AI. Artificial intelligence will continue to replace low-skilled jobs and reshape the labor market. Research conducted by Resume Templates in August of 2024 found that 3 in 10 companies replaced workers with AI last year. This is already happening. And this trend is expected to grow, to continue in 2025, with 38% of firms using AI likely to automate roles. If you're young and if you're just starting your career, if you're not sure what you want to do, I would highly, highly recommend that you do quite a bit of research in order to make a wise choice and consider whether your choice is something that can be replaced within the next couple of years. Some believe that AI might replace as many as 41% of all jobs in the next 5 years. Not many occupations are safe as AI continues to evolve and improve. For example, even the banking sector is at risk. Bloomberg Intelligence predicts that global banks may cut as many as 200,000 jobs over the next 3 to 5 years due to AI encroachment on roles like data entry and compliance. Even Wall Street, which I find very, very surprising, is not safe. There are forecasts that AI could cost a couple 100,000 jobs there as well.
All right, what do you think about that, man?
Just shit, that's been in play for that's been in play for a minute. Cause you think about it.
You know something Zuckerberg said on that interview with Joe Rogan?
Mm-hmm.
He said they're gonna be replacing people on a lot of them sites too because they got AI coders.
And then what's the point of you going to college and learning coding or learning cybersecurity, and then they already it's all a money scam. You gotta spend money to go to them schools, man. God, these motherfuckers.
What's so crazy is I'm trying to tell you, this thing is kind of wild, man, because they programming the AI, right? It's very wild, though. They program the AI to do human jobs, but then they got you going there. Hold on 1 second, bro.
Because that's why they got the immigrant. That's why they started doing the immigrants and shit. Because they lock us up and they bring the immigrants. Perfect swap. You see what I'm saying? And now now you, you still bringing the immigrants, but you kind of push them out of the way a little bit. You're like, okay, well, shit, let's not even, you know what I'm saying? We cheap, you know what I'm saying? We have these people working for cheap labor and we're ripping them off, but at the same time, they're illegal. They're not going to go to the police. So, you know what I'm saying? We could keep taking advantage of them and getting them low wages, but fuck the hell with that. Why even have to deal with a damn person anyway? Because a person still has sick days. A person still calls out. A person still has family emergency. The hell with all that. No, the hell with all that shit. Let's bring in a motherfucking robot. They don't have none of that.
I've been really into self-help books lately.
How about that?
I find that I can relate to so much of what they're writing about.
We can make even more profit than the damn illegals.
Breaking news coverage continues. We're monitoring the mayor, screen right, of Los Angeles, Karen Bassett, of course, the situation in the area, especially with the winds, the return of these extreme winds in the forecast. So I'm going to bring Mr. G in now, News Nation Station WPIX here in New York on this. So the mayor was talking a little bit about it. They were also talking about recovery, but I think the people in the area just want to know about what's coming to this afternoon and tonight.
Yeah, and what's coming is the winds are going to pick up in the next 24 to 48 hours, right through Wednesday. These are the Santa Anas. They start on top of the mountains, high pressure in the right spot.
Yeah.
Then they compress dry. They become warm. They're in a drought. They come down the mountaintop, go into the plateau desert, keep coming down, and then to the southern Rockies. And if you look at the graphic, you can see it ends up by the water. Now, these winds right now are gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, make it 70 miles per hour. And by Wednesday, 70, 75 miles per hour. Also, something to note about these winds, they take these embers, right? And at night, they shoot them like 500 yards in seconds. When they hit an industrial park, then you're getting lead, benzene, and nitrous oxides, real bad stuff chemically. Right. And they have this PM 2.5, which means it gets into the lungs. It's serious stuff. And so all of this, it will continue till Wednesday, subside, but then pick up again. And the real problem we're having now is that we're not prepared for this onslaught from the Santa Anas, which are unpredictable, hit hard at night. These fires pulsate.
Yeah.
They pulsate. So we call it pulsate up, which means just when you think they're over with, there are embers there and they pulsate into another fire.
It could be smoldering underneath the ground, and you don't even know. We were talking, one of our reporters was speaking to the firefighters out there yesterday, and what they were telling him was that unfortunately, because of these forecasts, it's probably like an 80% chance, and we even saw it last night with another fire, of more fires breaking out. I mean,
and you make a really interesting point, because the fires are underground because the soil is so dry.
Right.
So now you got an underground fire, which is picked up by these Santa Anas, and there is a drought. So they're just going to expand when it's most difficult to take care of. Look, you can see it from satellite, from space. That's 23,000 miles up. You can see again how explosive this is. And
there's no rain in the forecast. Right?
And there's no rain in the forecast for a long period of time, all of next week. The one final note that I want to make is the water crisis is such a crisis in the two areas that we've been talking about, Eaton and the Palisades, that when the first report of a fire happened last Wednesday night at midnight.
Gotcha, man.
Why they spraying that stuff? So it's harsh. Excuse me. You know it's harsh on the lungs. You know it's not good on the body. You know it's chemicals, poisonous type stuff. Why, bro? Yeah, we really don't have no water. I doubt that. There's no way you can extract water or something from the fucking ocean. Something. Come on, bro. We have dams, reservoirs, all that stuff. Really? Boy. You see, I blame the people. Excuse me. None of us. Why is nobody protesting this, bro? Why is nobody out in the street? Why is nobody like? But guess what? If it was abortion, they'd be protesting. The damn immigrants, they protesting. How you protesting? You ain't even a citizen. That's cold, bro. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit. The other stuff he was saying, it sounded like a bunch of bullshit to me, though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's not gonna rain for another week, bro. And then why didn't I? Okay, so what fires are contained and what fires aren't contained? Well, I guess we'll get to that in our video.
Well, look, I'm gonna play this for you. Mosquitoes with toxic semen, how it could change public health.
Imagine a world where mosquitoes, the tiny creatures responsible for spreading deadly diseases, could be controlled with a groundbreaking technique. Scientists in Australia are working on just that, using genetically engineered mosquitoes with toxic semen to combat tropical diseases. Female mosquitoes are targeted because only they bite and drink blood, spreading diseases such as malaria and dengue fever. Led by Sam Beach from Australia's Macquarie University, the team has trialed this novel pest control method using fruit flies. The results were promising, with female flies that bred with toxic males having a significantly reduced lifespan. Next, the researchers plan to implement this technique in mosquitoes and conduct rigorous safety testing. The goal is to ensure there are no risks to humans or other non-target species. The mosquitoes would be genetically modified to express the toxic semen only once released into the wild. This innovative solution could transform how we manage pests, offering hope for healthier communities and a more sustainable future. By actively killing biting females, this technique could be far more effective than traditional methods. As scientists continue their research, the potential to control mosquito populations and reduce the spread of deadly diseases becomes more tangible.
Crazy stuff, ain't it, man?
How do they know? What, man, this sounds like some bullshit. Poisonous semen, bro. Well, see, if it's like that, why would they even be able to reproduce then? How does that work?
Hold on one second, bro.
Let me introduce you to inflation. He's delivering those dreaded utility bills that are constantly increasing. And if you're like...
Under Elon Musk, Twitter has complied with a record number of government requests to censor content on the platform, including requests from authoritarian countries. That's according to Twitter data compiled by the nonprofit Rest of World. It reveals that Twitter has approved 83% of requests to restrict content on the platform since Musk took over, up from around 50% under Twitter's old leadership. This despite Musk promising to bring freedom of speech to the platform. Among the most prominent governments that have asked for takedowns are India and Turkey, two countries that have faced repeated criticism for silencing dissent. Most recently, Twitter restricted content ahead of Turkey's high-profile presidential election after the Turkish government threatened to shut the social media platform down. It's important to note Turkey's government is led right now by the leading contender in that election, which is now headed for a runoff. Twitter said they censored the content in Turkey to keep the service there available.
And he picked business and money over his morals and principles. So I don't want to hear about him talking about free speech ever again. And
while some experts say that sets a dangerous precedent for other countries, it's not the first time this has happened. In India, Twitter removed nearly all content relating to a BBC documentary deemed critical of the country's leader, Narendra Modi. Modi is trying to block the narrative of his alleged complicity in intercommunal riots that left more than 1,000 people dead in 2002. India has also moved to censor the documentary on other platforms as the country approaches elections next year.
You're saying that he's good for Twitter and good for speech. I'm saying he's using Twitter to help one of the most right-wing governments in the world censor speech. I will criticize that. Will you?
I have to look at the story first.
To that, Musk said, quote, "The rules in India for what can appear on social media are quite strict, and we can't go beyond the laws of a country." That's all for this quick breakdown. If you want more stories like this, you can head over to our website, straightarrownews.com.
What do you think about that, Frank? Crazy stuff, ain't it, man? Frank. Oh, God. Frank.
Oh, my bad. I stepped out for a second. My bad. Damn. My bad. Sorry about that. Yeah, but that was the dude looked like he was the Middle Eastern dude was going in on him, huh? Yeah, he's full of it, man.
Oh, that's a guy that used to play for the Houston Rockets. I think they got rid of him out of the league because he was critical of the Turkish government.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hear. I agree with dude. I wouldn't want to hear. I don't want to hear Elon Musk ever again talking about.
Well, the problem with Elon Musk since he bought Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it is censored 83% of the government requests from people to censor. So he ain't free speech like they say he is. That's bullshit.
And like he's hiding, like you said, he was hiding. He's like sending it to the algorithms where you can hide your posts, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
But he is with the World Economic Forum, of course. But yes, I mean he's doing that. As a matter of fact, he can hide people's posts, but he amplifies others. So you know how the conservatives were saying that that they was getting censored on Twitter when Jack Dorsey had it.
Oh yeah.
Well, they doing the same thing on the other side here, but they doing it just not appropriate. They doing it with whole governments and stuff. People they like India and the other countries that don't want to be criticized. They can just say, "Hey, look, man, don't let them put the documentary out or something like that." See.
Oh, so they could basically cover stuff up with using Musk, right?
Yes. So it's a big game. All right, let's see. Palantir. This is the article. Says the CDC Palantir and the AI healthcare revolution. The CDC Center for Forecasting and Outbreak Analytics has partnered with the CIA-linked Palantir to cement the public-private model of invasive surveillance and public health, all while pushing the national security state and Silicon Valley even closer together. And it says a 40-minute read, and it might be that. I ain't read that much of it. Well, I read some of it. The Pentagon and Silicon Valley in the midst of cultivating an even closer relationship as the Department of Defense and big tech companies seek to jointly transform the American health system into one that is artificial intelligence AI-driven. The alleged advance with such a system espoused by the Army itself, big tech, and farmers, as well as intelligence will be unleashed by the rapidly developing power of so-called predictive medicine, or a branch of medicine that aims to identify patients at risk of developing a disease, therefore enabling either prevention or early treatment of that disease. So remember when I was telling you about Pram Bondi and them and Trump and all this pre-crime technology, drones, and all this other stuff? They're going to be able to use this for health reasons. So they can say, hey, man, Frank, we predict that you could get sick of this. We're going to use the AI to find out whether you're sick of that. That's basically it's like pre-health almost, like crazy stuff, right? Yeah, this will be achieved via mass interagency sharing between the DoD, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the private sector. In other words, the military and intelligence community, as well as the public and private sector of the healthcare system, are working closely with big tech to predict diseases and treat them before they come, and even before symptoms are felt, for the purpose of improving civilian and military healthcare. So the Total Information Awareness Program was a post-9/11 pre-crime operation which sought to use mass surveillance to stop terrorists before they committed crimes through collaborative data mining efforts between the public and private sector. Now, you can't believe that. Well, why you ain't stop the damn terrorists then? If that's the case, you say terrorism! Why you ain't stop it then? You ain't stopped nothing yet, so you say.
Sound like it's all a play.
So
at the end of the day, it's all a play.
But this is and they're gonna use algorithms for identifying normal disease outbreaks. In 2022, announced that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention will continue their ongoing work to plan, manage, and respond to future outbreaks in public health incidents by streamlining its existing biosurveillance programs. All right, so just want you to pay attention to that, right? Now remember the word biosurveillance, right? Watch this. So here you go. Biosurveillance, right?
Collect additional data from immigration applicants, including eye scans, voice prints, and DNA. The plan would vastly increase the number of applicants required to submit some of these biometrics, and it may force immigrants in the US to continuously give biological identifiers to the government even after they have obtained their visas.
There are going to be people who are subject to this continuous vetting for the rest of their lives.
Critics say the new vetting proposal establishes a chilling surveillance state for non-citizens, which could deter many from immigrating in the first place.
We are concerned that this is simply an enormous new barrier that they are creating for legal immigrants to discourage immigrants from coming to the United States.
Besides immigrants, the new rule would also impact US citizens who are petitioning for family members who could be subject to DNA tests to prove the existence of a claimed genetic relationship.
One of the results of this rule will be a decrease in family-based immigration, that petitioners will not be willing to submit for such an invasive biometrics exam just to petition for their relatives.
Department of Homeland Security leaders say leveraging readily available technology to verify the identity of an individual thwarts fraudsters who are not who they claim to be. Currently, the government collects fingerprints, signatures, and photos from applicants as part of an initial background check. Now, DHS wants to use new recognition technologies throughout the application process, not only to verify identities, but also to produce secure documents and manage records.
DHS will officially publish the rule in the Federal Register on Friday. The public will have 30 days to comment on it after that.
Now, remember I was talking about the biosurveillance and all that? Well, that's what they want to do. They want to have a biological entry-exit system, which on the surface, you can say, yeah, let's do that for the immigrants. No. Because you can also use this on citizens.
They don't think that. And then I just, you know what, man? You know who I blame, man? We already know the politicians sell out. I just blame the people. The people are just so passive. So, you know, they got us entertained. So we're not tripping off the real things that matter. We're not worried about that. We worry about the entertainment, the love of hip hop, the love of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Basketball wise, we're worried about
right. Now you're right, because I'm gonna say something to you. See, anytime these people talk about this stuff, when they keep on drilling it down, right? The common sense thing, you say, well, you're gonna do it, right?
Right.
Because we don't need to wait for nobody to get in the office to do no shit like that, right? Really, we don't. Now, here's the deal. Like I said, if it was on the surface, it sounds good. But we go through fingerprinting and mass surveillance already. You already got cameras all over this motherfucker, right? So they have a biological entry-exit system. You better believe that's going to just remove Americans too. It's not just down to no daggone immigrants, bro. That's my issue with it. I'm going to give you another example why. Real ID 2025. Here you go. No. There you go.
Big ideas.
Well, if Hump Day has you dreaming of a weekend getaway, you're definitely not alone. CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg joins me now from where this morning, Peter?
I'm actually at the Aquilina Resort in Sunny Isles in Florida, right outside of Miami.
Oh, so you're much warmer than I am right now. Well, Peter, we've got a bit of a strange one to start the new year with. One body was found in a wheel well of a United Airlines plane on Christmas Eve. Just yesterday, 2 more bodies found in the wheel well of a JetBlue plane, this time badly decomposed. How does this keep happening?
It happens because people who are not particularly well versed in aviation think that that's a great idea to stow away and get a free flight somewhere. We'll get to the areas of security about how they even got the access to the plane. But when you do that, first of all, if the wheel well retraction doesn't kill you, the temperature will, and the altitude, and the actual depressurization will. You're flying at 35,000 feet in an unpressurized cabin, meaning the wheel well, with temperatures at minus 50 degrees. And if you haven't been crushed by the landing gear, you're going to be dead the other way. And that's what we've been seeing.
How is it these people are even getting to the wheel wells of these planes? I mean, you got to get on the tarmac to do that.
Right. And nobody gets on the tarmac without an escort or without a badge. So that's what they're really looking at. Forgetting just the bad execution here, the question is, where's the security?
Yeah.
The United flight happened in Hawaii, by the way. The JetBlue flight happened not far from me here in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to hear what they find. Now, you wrote about the rise in night sky tourism on your website, petergreenberg.com. Why do you think this sport of travel is becoming so popular, and where are people going?
Well, remember, in the post-pandemic world, people wanted, social distancing and breathing space. Now they want seeing space, and they want to go to places that have a really clear sky that's not obstructed by pollution. And they can find it all over the United States with dark sky tourism, whether it's in Cherry Springs State Park in Pennsylvania, the Florida Everglades, Big Cypress Park, not far from where I am right now, the Anza Borrego Desert State Park in California, even Antelope Island in the Great Salt Lake in Utah. And you know what? It's uncrowded. We're talking 20, 30,000 acres of space there to be able to see the Aurora Borealis and, of course, the constellations. It's a pretty cool thing.
Oh, my gosh. Even just those images we're showing are amazing. All right, let's talk Real ID now. The government plans to start enforcing the use of Real IDs in May, but it's not the only big change coming to travel. You now need to register online before traveling across the pond. Do you expect this to cause headaches for any travelers?
Well, let's first talk about Real ID.
Okay.
Don't get too excited about that. It started in 2003. They kept kicking the can down the road for the last, 19 years, 20 years? If you hold a valid U.S. passport, you don't need Real ID. And remember, they say it's going to kick in May of this year. They're not even going to start enforcing it until 2027.
Oh.
So let's not lose our sleep on that.
Okay, good to know.
The other one you do have to know about is what we call the ETA, the Electronic Travel Authorization.
Mm-hmm.
And that's being started right now, happened yesterday, as a matter of fact, in the United Kingdom. If you're flying anywhere in the United Kingdom from the US, it's going to cost you about $13. You have to register online. You got to do it at least 72 hours before you even get your airline ticket. That's going to get you the visa to get into the UK. And then in April, it's going to happen in Europe, the other 26 European Union countries as well.
Can I ask you a real quick question personally? My own personal. So if you bought an overseas ticket, let's say last fall, and you're heading out at the end of, let's say, this month or next, do you have to register?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. And do it at least 72 hours before your flight, because it can take up to 3 days to process.
Okay, that's
and
actually...
you'll get it as an electronic email with a number that you have to show at that boarding gate or at the counter.
Okay. All right. Definitely something to take note of, because that could really hold up some people if they didn't do that in advance. All right.
Wow.
What do you think about that, Frank?
Man.
So what I'm saying, they said they've been having it planned for a long time to do. But here's my problem with it. You putting a lot of stuff on people, restrictive measures. You're doing it under the guise of immigration.
You see how it's the games they playing.
You're right.
He's talking about European Union. They about to make America a union. This is the American Union. It's all going to come together, man. It's going to be the new world order.
You heard what he said, right?
Yep. Telling you. And they want to do all this. You know what I'm saying? They want to do all this and align everything up together, just like the Olympics, right? Just like the little stupid train that they're gonna build. You know what I mean?
Yep. Right. I don't think it really matters that much, man. You know, people don't really want to hear that, man. All right, let me go back to this right quick. You weren't on here when I started, so I'm gonna go back to it right quick. No, that's fuck that shit. All right, no, you know what?
I saved $700 with Liberty Mutual. Crazy what you can get with those savings.
Do you have any questions for me? Yeah, I have a question. Isn't
Prospect Medical Holdings, a Los Angeles-based medical company that owns 3 Connecticut hospitals, has filed for bankruptcy.
Those hospitals are Waterbury Hospital, Rockville General Hospital, and Manchester Memorial. News 8's Eva Zamaris shares what this means for these hospitals, patients, and what happens next.
We heard from state leaders who stress these hospitals will remain open and the care that patients receive will not change.
Some people think bankruptcy means the lights go out and the party's over. That's not true at all.
Governor Ned Lamont and state leaders addressing this weekend's announcement from Prospect Medical Holdings that the company is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
We're doing everything we can to make sure Prospect continues to pay the vendors, pay the doctors, pay the nurses.
The California-based company owns 3 hospitals in Connecticut: Waterbury Hospital, Rockville General Hospital, and Manchester Memorial Hospital. These leaders stressed Monday afternoon they'll hold Prospect Medical accountable and ensure hospital operations continue uninterrupted.
This is about life and death. This is about patients. This is about communities. This is about healthcare.
We've learned there are teams in place on the ground to make sure that happens.
That does not change the fact that the state and federal regulations that the hospital must uphold to ensure that there is safe care being provided to the residents of Connecticut continues.
As for what's next, Yale New Haven Health shared in 2022 its plans to acquire these 3 hospitals, but that deal has run into a number of delays. Yale New Haven Health telling News 8 they've raised the alarm about this inevitability in the lawsuit we filed last year, recognizing Prospect's lack of investment and mismanagement of the Connecticut Prospect hospitals. Adding, we will closely monitor the proceedings and determine what steps, if any, we'll take as part of this process. But Prospect Medical's local leadership sharing with us optimism following this announcement.
My message would be is this is actually really good news for local healthcare providers, and specifically us, because now we have a path forward.
Republican state leaders News 8 spoke with say it's imperative steps are taken to protect residents and jobs.
There are a lot of people in flux right now, and they're very concerned both about their health care and about their job.
The short term, we need to make certain that the hospitals stay open. And in the long term, we need to fix our laws so this never happens again.
State leaders telling us they're hoping to bring this to a resolve as quickly as possible. Stay with us for the latest on this story. In Hartford, Zamaris, News 8.
Wow. Crazy, right?
Hell yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, man, when are we gonna stop falling for the propaganda, dude? When are we gonna stop? You know what I'm saying? When it's like, come on, bro. Like I said, I just think my thing is let these dudes handle it, man. Let these politicians handle this, man. They the ones, man, they want to put us in this damn mess. That's how I look at it.
Now you ain't gonna believe this one, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bad one, right? You, I tell you this one, you gonna flip your head on this one.
Phones have been lost or stolen, and many of them are now turning up overseas.
That's the subject of a new report from the Office of the Inspector General. Joining us now, CBS News Chicago investigator Tara Molina. You've been tracking this issue for years, Tara, so share more from that report.
That's right, Marie and Jim. Since kids were learning it from home during the pandemic, that's when we first saw lost and stolen device numbers really skyrocket here in Chicago. But years later, it's still an issue that's costing the district, facing major budget issues, a lot of money. Dollars down the drain at CPS in the midst of a budget crisis. This brand new report revealing tens of thousands of laptops, iPads, and cell phone hotspots were lost or stolen in the 2023-2024 school year. And thousands of those devices, bought and paid for with your tax dollars, ending up in other countries.
Oh.
8,000 devices detected outside of Illinois, a majority overseas in 140 countries like Azerbaijan, Barbados, China, Ethiopia, Jordan, and Nicaragua. This report finding CPS's inventory process lacks accountability, recommending the district resolve asset management issues. Since it's paying for geo-tracking services it, quote, barely used. I asked the folks behind this report what's being done to address the thousands of devices detected overseas.
A concerning result, and it's something that the district is looking into, and the Office of Inspector General is going to be speaking with the district about and looking into as well.
Last year, the OIG estimated CPS lost more than $23 million in devices. This year, no dollar amount yet. Coming up at 5, more from the Office of the Inspector General and what the Better Government Association says CPS should be doing right now to prevent this. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Tara Molina, CBS News Chicago.
Crazy, ain't it, man?
When they tell you the story, they don't details whatsoever. Oh, we just don't know it. It just ended up. They always give you the I don't know story, bro. Like, okay, but you're reporting on this shit. Don't you think you should have took a little bit more time, get a little more research, found a little bit more answers, then reported on this shit? But they want to hit us with, you know what I'm saying, with the soap. They want you to ask so many damn questions. They want you to hit you with the unanswered questions. 9/11, you know what I'm saying? JFK, you know what I'm saying? Keep and look, and you know what they do? They throw these psyops out, right? And then the next week they'll throw another one, and then two more to make you forget, bro. It'll be two because it's too much for you to remember. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here you go, you right here.
A substantial completion of a 22-mile stretch of track for the high-speed rail is being celebrated by local and state leaders. I'm Veronica Morley, a senior reporter in Bakersfield, out here in Shafter, where a line of the temporary track for the project's railhead is set to be placed. Governor Gavin Newsom joining officials from the High Speed Rail Authority to announce that the project is set to begin laying track for the railhead, the part of the line that is necessary for the high-speed rail to conduct track and overhead contact systems work. The segment of the overall project, labeled Construction Package 4, included a 22-mile stretch between Poplar Avenue and Wasco and approximately 1 mile south of the Kern-Tulare County line. Governor Newsom explaining that after years of delays and changes to the original project, this stretch has now completed much of the permitting and planning processes to begin the next phase.
99% of that first 119 miles is finally behind us. All the permitting behind us, all that work done, finally laying track. That's what I'm focused on, a new day.
This milestone also highlighting the 171 miles of rail under development. Governor Newsom and the High-Speed Rail Authority looking to future developments with plans already in the process for a Bakersfield substation. And even though he said the last Trump administration created roadblocks for this project, Newsom stating they have few concerns over the next 4 years.
We're doing everything we can, including I'll be back in Washington, D.C. Yet again in a couple days. And just tying down any loose ends, but we're not naive.
The Railhead project will begin with construction and preparation of ballast, rail ties, and rails with temporary track being laid this spring. In Shafter, I'm Veronica Morley, your senior reporter.
Assembly District.
Oh God, bro. So this is gonna go from Vegas to California. From Vegas to California.
Yep.
Why is it 2025 and they barely building some shit like that? They should have been built some shit. For one, and for two, look, what happened to the billions of dollars that he spent last time on this same train? What happened?
I think they're gonna do it and put the smart city combined in it.
Yeah, combined, right? That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now, Frank, how hot do you think it got to be for aluminum to burn?
He said, how hot would it be for aluminum to burn? Damn.
They said the cars are burning. A lot of cars made out of aluminum and metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. How much you think? How hot do you think it got to be?
That shit got to be super fucking hot, man. For it to just burn, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Boy, I tell you. I'll tell you, boy.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the answer. I'm right looking at it right now. It gotta be 1,221 degrees. So that lets you know there ain't no wildfire did burn them goddamn cars or nothing like that up. All that stuff.
That's all. And then why would they leave? Why would they give them the option of leaving their car, bro? Who does that? Oh, you leave your car right here in the middle of the road. Really? The road wasn't on fire. Was the road on fire, bro? Was the road on fire? We don't be thinking, dude. We don't think at all, bro. We do not think. Nigga, the street was it Back to the Future? The street when the street was on fire. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Boy, we go, dude. Come on, man. I'm not going for look. You know what else I ain't going for? I ain't going for none of that that looting, them scenarios about black men looting. I'm not going for none of that shit. I'm not going for none of these fake ass stories, these fake scenarios, this clickbait, this content. You know what I'm saying? They always use black men and women and negative likes for content. That shit. I'm sorry. I'm in my 40s. I'm too old for all this shit, bro. I'm not gonna keep falling for that. Meanwhile, look, they're bringing the Indians over here. So they shit on the black people from here, and then they bring other races. And when we say that they're replacing us, then that's when we get blowback from other people. But this right here shows you that they're replacing you. They don't want you in the tech industry. That's basically what they're telling you. Am I right or wrong, BJ?
Yeah, you're right.
And that's some of the most prominent up and coming thing right now is tech any damn way. So they're gonna try to shut you out, just like they shut us out of construction, right? They shut us out the housing market. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Okay. I don't know why it ain't coming. It don't matter. All right, there you go. Yeah, so LabCorp now I think they got some tests for bird flu or something. Minnesota. Here we go.
In our Health Watch this evening, WCC has learned that hospital leaders will be meeting again this week to make a game plan for the surge in patients visiting emergency rooms across the metro.
As Jonah Kaplan reports, the issue now goes beyond the number of patients. It is making sure that doctors and nurses themselves don't get sick.
Everyone gets sick.
But what happens when those who provide care are the ones who need it? At Children's Minnesota, the metrics matter again. Too many cases of the flu, RSV, COVID, and norovirus. The so-called quademic means doctors and nurses will be wearing masks again when seeing patients. That includes pediatrician Dr. Chase Shutak.
You know, it's the same rule as on an airplane. If you don't put on your oxygen mask first, you can't put on anyone else's oxygen mask. So if I'm sick, if one of my colleagues is sick, then we should stay home.
The sickness surge is clogging emergency rooms everywhere. At Children's, M Health Fairview, Alina, and Hennepin Healthcare. According to Dr. Shutak, parents understandably are nervous about their children's well-being, but the ER should be the last resort.
Even when a child is vomiting a lot, they may not truly be dehydrated. And so you may feel the need to kind of go into the emergency department because, oh my gosh, my child won't stop throwing up. But they won't necessarily do anything there that they wouldn't do at the clinic.
When to go to the ER is a tough call, but the root of emergency is emergent. One question for parents to consider: is the issue worth what could be a very long wait?
The couple of things that really require you to go to the emergency department tend to be either trauma, so some sort of accident or injury, or a really significant breathing problem. So you're starting to turn blue, you're working harder to breathe.
In Minneapolis, Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
Dr. Shutak says we still haven't reached peak flu season, but we may have plateaued with RSV. He says it's critical that everyone washes their hands frequently.
Hold on for a minute. Let's see. One more. God damn, man. Shit.
What happened? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I couldn't think of what I would pull up.
Oh, no, I hate that. I be doing that all the time, bro, man.
Nah, it's all good.
So in a little while, can I pull up that map? That rail map? Or you want to pull it up?
Yeah, send it to me. I'm about to get off in a minute. I just wanted to share one thing. Shit. Virginia school. Oh, yeah, that's it.
What about what's the name? What about that bird flu test, man? Did you pull it up?
Zaxby's just out filling the Philly with our signature crispy chicken fingers, sauteed peppers and onions.
Well, for some students, school actually starts tomorrow. Norfolk Public School students will return to the classroom, and now there's a new state guidance to keep all cell phones out of the classrooms. Emily Harrison has more on the cell phone policy and how educators are weighing in.
Cell phones do cause distractions. I mean, they cause distractions in our daily lives.
Now, several educators are urging students to put those distractions away. Norfolk Public School students in several other divisions across the Commonwealth have already banned cell phones in the classroom. But now Governor Glenn Youngkin is working on a statewide policy to keep them out of all Virginia schools. Chuck Lowry, an associate professor on educational leadership, says this is both a good and bad idea.
Phones have been used as teaching tools, and I know of districts across the country who implement different one-to-one devices. Teachers effectively using cell phones in the classroom for learning and for engaging students.
This can include online voting and polling to judge students' attention by having them digitally write out answers. However, teachers have also reported phones as a hindrance in the classroom. According to a new Pew Research poll, 72% of teachers say cell phones are a major distraction in the classroom.
That we need to respect the autonomy of teachers either way. Don't want to use cell phones and see them as a distraction. I can definitely support the school leaders or the school board in not deciding that.
Ultimately, Lowry says students and parents will need to listen to whichever rules are in place. As for many Hampton Road schools, students caught with a cell phone in class can get a consequence anywhere from a warning to a suspension. School leaders say the best place for students' phones is put away in a locker or at home. Emily Harrison.
Bro, you already know what I said. You already know what I said.
All right.
So this now they want to make they want to make a what's the name now, huh? They want to make this to where it's going to be they want to make it to where it's going to be a public emergency because you know, they're going to make it worse because they're going to look what they're going to do. They're going to throw another psyop. I don't want to say too much on here. They're going to throw another, you know what, one of them things, right? And then guess what? It's going to be that much more of a disaster because guess what? Nobody ain't going to be able to, certain people ain't going to be able to communicate. Or look, certain people aren't going to be able to film it. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Certain people aren't going to be able to tape it. If you have a cell phone, but see, you don't really see that too much anyway. Maybe it's not that, but it's definitely going to be there's going to be, that doesn't make sense because they're definitely doing it for a psyop. I could tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's your thing with that. California wound exactly in the same path as a high-speed rail system.
Exact same, man.
So
you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't
make it up, but it is what it is, man. Wow, a lot of stuff. Just people need to keep their head on swivel. Stop being entertained by the propagandists, and learn about the road ahead. This is not going to be good for everybody. Everybody's not going to be able to handle it, but anyway, that's how it's going to go. So whatever, shout out the information, man.
Man, shoot, man, y'all can hit me up at XX Prank Nitty XS on YouTube. You know what I mean? The same handle right here on the screen. Same on Instagram, and then I also have another Instagram, Frank Jones 8115. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? Check me out. Got some good content. All right.
Yes, he does.
Good show, though. Good show, man.
There's information that we covered on that. People better just be prepared, man. Like, I don't understand, you know, what's going on. So, I mean, look like we might be dealing with some water stuff. Maybe snow again Wednesday or Sunday, excuse me. Got an inauguration day coming up, a lot of things going on, so it is what it is. You just get ready, prepare for the next psyop, and that's about it. But shoot, take your time, brother.
All right, salute, man. Word.
Yes, sir.